Welcome back to the Chatting Average. We have 38 minutes until John Lieber's laundry is done. My name's John Sansoni. That's Adam Busek. Sox is somewhere behind John, probably going to eat some of his laundry if he doesn't take it in 38 minutes. And we have to talk about the NL West. I say have to because 4 out of the 5 teams are a burden to talk about, and one of them is not. And I'll let you decide which one that is.
I think we all know which the one is.
Yes, John.
If Sox were to eat some of my laundry that is currently in the dryer, I'd be really concerned because he'd be 3 buildings over. I just wanted to say that.
If Sox ate some of your laundry, would it technically count as cannibalism?
Oh, no, because his name is not S-O-C-K-S.
That's a good point.
Come here,
If Sox were to eat a Leody Taveras rookie card, would that be cannibalism?
Ooh, yes.
Probably.
The Marcus
I would say,
rookie card as well. And the
So-
Fernando Tatis Jr.
Speaking of Fernando Tatis, the NL West, as you can imagine, we're going to go top to bottom here. And if you were somehow under a rock for the past 9 to 12 months,
Great job. You enjoyed life.
The Dodgers won the NL West.
Dodgers. 93-69, a World Series winner over the Toronto Blue Jays. The San Diego Padres somehow won 90 games and then lost to the Cubs in the wild card. The San Francisco Giants, who started on a red-hot March and April, finished 81-81, 2 games back in the wild card. The Diamondbacks, who traded everybody, had a late surge and went 80-82 to be 3 games back in the wild card. And then there's a double-A team that plays in this division, the Colorado Rockies, 43-119. Count them with me, ladies and gentlemen. 40 games back in the wild card. Count them. 1, 2. No, just kidding. We're not doing that. I can't count that high. Neither can Adam. John has a sister who's going to Alabama, so he can.
Congrats.
Congrats.
But yeah, let's get it started.
Counting to 40 is actually a prerequisite to get into Bama. Like, are we sure about that?
That's true.
No.
Well, John didn't apply because, again, the prerequisite is counting to 40.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
Anyways, we'll start with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Let's just give you a reminder of who's already on this team. Former MVP Shohei Ohtani, former MVP Mookie Betts, former MVP Freddie Freeman, as well as Will Smith, Max Muncy, Teoscar Hernandez, Andy Pages, Hassan Kim, Dalton Rushing, Miguel Rojas, Santiago Espinal, and Alex Cole, with the pitchers of Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Tyler Glasnow, Shohei Ohtani. That's right, he does both. Emmett Sheehan, Roki Sasaki. They have Tanner Scott, Alex Vesia, Blake Trinan. Let me tell you who they added. Kyle Tucker and Edwin Diaz. Now, it's not a lot, but one of them is an MVP candidate, and one of them is one of the best closers in baseball because, when the Dodgers went 93-69 last year, they thought to themselves, man, we should win the World Series. So they went out and they won the World Series. And then they said, oh, man, I don't know if we're going to be able to compete next year with our current team. So they spent money. It's great.
Here's the thing for me, right, is like the Dodgers, this is now, 3 or 4 off seasons straight where they've gone out and just backed up the Brinks truck to make their team markedly better. And to me, I think this offseason was not the most disappointing is not the word that I want to use, but it was far and away the least active that we've seen out of the Dodgers in quite some time, right? Yes, Edwin Diaz is a huge move, and I think that is probably getting underrated even within MLB circles, how big of a deal it is getting Edwin Diaz and as poor of a bullpen as they had last year. But, like, outside of him, Kyle Tucker's your big ad, and, like, he's probably the 6th best bat on this team.
Well, yeah, but you heard me read out the other names on this team. Kyle Tucker on every other team in the league is not too bad.
Well, yeah, and I understand that, but this offseason just doesn't move the needle for me with the Dodgers as it has in years past. And to be clear, they don't need to go out and add a ton of people every year. They don't need to, but it's not like this isn't an offseason where they've spent $1 billion in 2 months.
Right. Anyways. Rotation's still good. Shohei will pitch this year. That's cool.
I guess that's one of
the MVP.
I guess that's one of the big floating questions here is he didn't pitch all season. He pitched about half the season last year. And I think we've kind of yet to see a full season of both from him in a little bit. So it's more of just the can he continue to do it? And I have no reason to believe he won't. I mean, because you have no reason to believe Shohei Ohtani can't do anything in the sport of baseball. He could probably say, I want to go catch and be a platinum glove catcher just because he can. You know,
I don't think they'd let him do that.
I don't think they would either, but if he wanted to, you have a hard time telling him no.
Right.
I think another.
This is the same organization that decided that Mookie Betts could have a late career position change to shortstop. So,
well, you know, he used to be a second baseman. So,
the thing here for me is the same thing that's continued to bite them, which is funny because it hasn't really stopped them from winning. Is the injuries?
I was going to say we did forget to mention Tommy Edman, Kike Hernandez, Blake Snell, and Gavin Stone. Evan Phillips, Brock Stewart, and Brusdar Graterol are all currently injured for them. So just like every year, the Dodgers will have a whole second team that's on the IL for when their current team gets injured to pull off the IL and put in the lineup.
And that's kind of the thing for me is can they do it again? Can it be another season where you have to test the depth of your AAA team out in Oklahoma City, and find contributors because the thing is the Dodgers on paper at their healthiest are going to look fantastic. Obviously, are you ever going to see that team at the same time?
Yeah, we've had 2 straight years now, more or less, of the Dodgers kind of punting on the regular season just because of how injured they were. And last year, obviously, it worked out as they kick it into second gear in September and just kind of waltz through October and win the World Series. But is this a team that's going to have the opportunity to ignore the regular season again this year? Are injuries going to present that opportunity again? I think that's going to be an interesting question to be determined.
And I think the other thing that, like, if you're trying to find a pinhole-size hole in the Dodgers is the bullpen, and then they go out and add Edwin Diaz. So, like, you go from last year of getting to Tanner Scott or getting to whoever they used as a closer last year, and now it's, okay, well, if any of your 5 guys who could potentially one day win a Cy Young or have already won one in your rotation can't get through 6 innings, then you have Blake Trinan, Alex Vesia, Tanner Scott, and Edwin Diaz to close you out. And, you know, in a few months, you'll have Evan Phillips and Brock Stewart back. And theoretically, Brusdar Graterol, if he wants to continue playing baseball, he had shoulder surgery in November of 2024. So, I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if he wants to play baseball anymore. But, you know, there's some options. They are set at 102 wins. I think this is the only over-under that we've had that is above 100 wins.
102. It's just too rich for my blood. Even that team from last season had 93. I'm going to say under, but that does not necessarily mean they're going to lose, a significant portion of games.
I am also saying under, because just like every year, they will not turn it on until September.
Yeah, baseball teams don't win 100 games anymore. I'm taking the under as well, but it's not a knock on the Dodgers.
Next up, the San Diego Padres. They were 90-72 last year. In the offseason, they've added Miguel Andujar, Nick Castellanos, Ty France, Herman Marquez, Walker Buehler, and Griffin Canning. Buehler is a non-roster invite. They've also re-signed Michael King and Kyle Hart, Dylan Cease, Ryan O'Hearn, Robert Suarez, Luis Arraez, Elias Diaz and Tyler Wade are all signed elsewhere. Jose Iglesias, Yuli Gurriel, Jason Hayward, and Nestor Cortez remain unsigned.
I forgot that Nestor Cortez was on that team.
I think that the Padres front office forgot that they were supposed to do something in the offseason to make sure they don't only win 90 games next year.
Yeah.
Your biggest ad is Nick Castellanos, I guess.
And this is a super uncharacteristic offseason for the Padres. Like, this is an organization that we're used to every single year being all in. Like, what's going on up there, guys?
The only guy of their position players that is currently slotted in to be in their opening day lineup is Miguel Andujar. The only guy, actually, I guess both German Marquez and Walker Buehler are supposed to be in the rotation. I guess. They also have 52 players on the injured list, including Will Wagner, Sungmun Song, Griffin Canning, Yu Darvish, Joe Musgrove, Jason Adam, Johnny Brito, Brian Hoeing, or as I like to call him, Adam, and then Yuki Matsui.
I mean, geez.
It's the same lineup. It's the same lineup as every other year that the Padres have been in.
And there's going to be players that are on this list that are going to come back. Griffin Canning is going to likely pitch again this season.
Yeah, he ruptured his Achilles tendon in June of last year.
Right. Like, Will Wagner's probably going to come back, same as Sungwon Song, because they both strained their oblique within the last, 2 weeks, and they're going to be back sometime this spring.
An oblique sprain in spring training is the baseball equivalent of load management, basically.
Yeah, they're going to keep them. They're going to be cautious with them. I mean, Yuki Matsui might come back. Johnny Brito, almost a year out from his elbow surgery, I expect to come back as well. But
Jason Adam will also be back, quad surgery in September. I don't know if we said that.
But that still means that you're trusting Randy Vasquez, German Marquez, and Walker Buehler as your 3 through 5. And sure, Michael King and Nick Pivetta had good years last year. But Walker Buehler wasn't good enough for the Red Sox, and then was okay for the Phillies. But you're hearing a lot of these things in camp, because everyone who goes to spring training is in the best shape of their life and look like they're having fun and are a dark horse candidate for the Heisman, like Bo Nix or something. Everyone's got an opinion.
Everybody's added 20 pounds of muscle as well. Don't forget that.
Everyone's had the Zach Veen treatment, and so there's a chance that Walker Buehler does look better. There's a chance he doesn't, because it's March. But you still have to know that every 5th day for the foreseeable future, Walker Buehler is your 5. You know that every day you're hoping that Gavin Sheets, Miguel Andujar, Nick Castellanos, Ty France, this group of 4 people that could possibly play first base, are just sitting there, that you hope at least one of them is going to be good. Miguel Andujar could end up playing third base for significant periods of time if Manny Machado gets injured again.
Dude, they went in the offseason and signed 3 first basemen.
Nick Castellanos could play significant fielding time.
Yeah.
Oh, Nick Castellanos, who is too old and slow to play defense for the Phillies, could be stealing playing time on this Padres team. Good Lord.
I always found it really funny that the Phillies were like, dude, Kyle Schwarber is so bad in the outfield. Let's put Nick Castellanos out there. There's still some very good names on this list, obviously. Xander Bogaerts, Jackson Merrill, Manny Machado, Tatis, Cronenworth, the greatest first baseman of all time, Gavin Sheets. That's a pretty darn good 1 through 5. I'll tell you what, the 6 through 9 is really not that bad.
I mean, that's the thing about the Padres, I think, by and large, every year, right, is that you see the path for this to be a World Series contending team. Yes. Every year the path is there for them, and they just never figure it out.
Yeah. 85.5 wins. Jonathan?
Under. I'm sorry. That's just I don't see it. I don't see it. I think they're going to end up being in a weird spot with injury again. I can see them having that second half collapse that the Padres always do, but I don't think they're far from it. I think they're within 2 wins of this line.
I have them as an over. I'll add more to that later when we give our updates.
Yeah, I also have them as an over. Somebody's got to win games in this division, not named the Dodgers.
That's
I
true.
would like to point out that they have 8 non-roster invites currently listed as their minor leaguers to watch. The San Francisco Giants of last year, like I said earlier, great start to the year. I think they led the division for the first month and a half. Then they finished 81-81. In the offseason, they add everybody. Wilmer Flores, Tom Murphy, Harrison Bader, Luis Arias, Tyler Mahle, Adrian Hauser, Sam Henches, Jason Foley, Will Brennan, and Eric Haas on an NRI. In the free agency, they re-signed Joey Lucchesi. Justin Verlander goes to Detroit, and Andrew Kisner goes to Seattle. This team still has big names like Luis Arias, Matt Chapman, Jung-Hoo Lee, I guess Elliot Ramos.
This is my NL West bear trap. This is the one that I feel good about, because maybe I'm just drinking the name recognition Kool-Aid here off of this lineup, but Devers, Adames, Chapman, Jung-Hoo Lee, even Elliot Ramos had a is a better offensive player at the end of the year than he was at the beginning. Bryce Eldridge is a guy that's been heralded as this second coming of an offensive engine there, and who is somehow not playing first base because Rafael Devers is there. So I expect that to be a defensive platoon a bit. I don't think either one of them is going to play a ton of time, but neither one is going to take the lion's share of defensive snaps. Jesus. Defensive.
Yeah, they're not going to take snaps in baseball.
They're not going to take snaps. They don't take snaps in baseball.
It is important to note that, once again, another team in the NL West has 52 players on the injured list. This team, all pitchers. Oops, all pitchers. Hayden Birdsong, Jason Foley, Sam Henches, Randy Rodriguez, somebody help me out there, and Rowan Wick.
Reaver Stan Martin.
Thank you. Didn't know if it was Raver or Reaver.
The overhanging question, I think, with this Giants team for me this year is, will Rafael Devers click this year? Because last year, I think it seemed like he would be a pretty decent fit for a Giants team that just desperately needed any semblance of offense. And then he went out there and did largely nothing, right? Now he's had a full offseason to work with, the staff in San Francisco. He's had a full offseason to kind of get on the same page with his teammates. And I'm interested to see if we see kind of a resurgence of Rafael Devers this year, because if not, this could be a very unpretty offense once again this season.
Yeah, and not to knock on Rafi, but it's got to be hard to be traded so early in the year. Most of the time you get
traded. Kind of a lost season for him, even in spring training, feuding with your team. He just never got out of the gate, frankly.
And I don't think we ever brought that up, but what did he get traded in the second month of the year?
Something like that.
He never really get into a groove in Boston, and then when he got to the Giants, it was okay, let me move across the country, literally across the country. Is Boston not the northernmost team, other than Toronto?
Seattle.
On the East Coast?
On the East Coast, yeah.
So, he literally moved from one side of the country, one corner of the country to the other. I don't know. I think he'll bounce back, but we'll see.
It was just a very weird season for him all around.
Yeah. You do note that you will get a home run on opening day from your 7 hole if this is the lineup that they use. So it's always nice. The rotation, Logan Webb, Robbie Ray, Tyler Mahle, Adrian Hauser, and Landon Roop. Okay.
Adrian Hauser Hive, stand up.
God, no. We're not doing
It's
Adrian
time.
Hauser type on my
It's
podcast.
time. It's time. No,
I
if
am
any,
a big fan of Adrian Hauser, the best baseball player to ever play baseball, as everybody knows here. Okay, 80.5 wins.
I'm over on this. I already kind of talked about it a little bit. I'm high on these Giants. You know, I think I'm gonna fall in the bear trap, and it will happen.
I'm also over on this. I'm not falling into the bear trap, but I'm over on 80.5 wins.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're across the board over on this one.
Next up, the Arizona Diamondbacks, 80 and 82 last year. Nolan Arenado, Carlos Santana, Michael Soroka, Paul Sewald, Taylor Clark, Jonathan Loizaga, an NRI, and Merrill Kelly all added to the team. They re-signed Zach Gallen, James McCann, Ildemaro Vargas. All are back. Jalen Beeks goes to Texas, and Kendall Graveman remains unsigned. John does not like this team.
Nope. Wow, they sold everything and bought nothing.
Well, yeah, what do you expect them to do?
The Nolan Arenado, Carlos Santana quarter infield double play tandem. Unk still got it.
I will be a Nolan Arenado defender till the day I die.
But
he don't have it no more, man. He don't have it no more.
Look,
he ain't defending.
He was even in his prime. He was too slow to really be an effective base runner, right? He was a fine defender, but he was too slow to be an effective base runner even in his prime. These days, he's actively a liability on the base paths, and his fielding, in my opinion, has taken a large hit in the last 2 to 3 years because of that foot speed drop off.
And you know the thing for me is, and this might be conjecture, but
I think this whole show is conjecture.
Correct.
Well, yeah. He was not good enough to be brought back on Team USA, but good enough to be brought in as an injury substitute for like the 3 infielders Team Puerto Rico lost. He wasn't even the first call for Puerto Rico.
He's Puerto Rican?
Yeah.
Apparently. I mean, is Brian Rocchio Italian?
Yeah,
What
Clearly.
He grew up in Jersey. What do you mean, John?
Brian Rocchio, the Venezuelan infielder.
Grew up in
Look,
Jersey.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
I'm not. Look,
Grew up in Jersey, John.
Look,
Trenton, New Jersey.
Far be it from me, John Sansoni, to criticize a team made entirely of Italian-American baseball players. I'm just saying.
Yadier Hernandez will be on that team in 3 years. Trust.
Not everyone from New Jersey is immediately Italian. That's not how that works.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Yadier Hernandez is not Italian.
But
Yeah.
all this is to say is that Nolan Arenado's best days are clearly behind him. And I hesitate to see a world in which this was the right move to block some of the younger players coming up, because you sold so much of this veteran capital last season and bought it back in short-term deals that just, in my mind, don't necessarily serve where the team is supposed to go. Because this is a team that's on like most of the way down into a rebuild and just is like covering their ears and pretending it's not happening. This is like the Pittsburgh Steelers of the MLB. Like, they're so convinced that they can refresh it and make it work. And I just don't see it. I really don't. And you were so close to winning, to winning a ring. You're playing for rings in the desert. But this is not the team. This isn't that team anymore.
Important to note, just like every other team in this division, Adrian Del Castillo, Tyler Locklear, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Corbin Burns, Merrill Kelly, Christian Mena, Blake Walston, Justin Martinez, AJ Puck, and Andrew Salfrank are all currently injured.
That's a lot.
There are more people on the IL in this division than the rest of the league combined. 80.5 wins for the Diamondbacks, for Los Serpientes.
No. Under.
Okay. I'm also taking the under.
Make it 3.
All under. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to move on to the best team in the division, the Colorado Rockies. Jake McCarthy, Willie Castro, Troy Johnston, Eduard Julien, Nicky Lopez on an NRI, Michael Lorenzen, Jose Quintana, Tomoyuki Sagano, Brennan Bernardino, John Brebbia on an NRI, and Keegan Thompson are all ads. They lose Herman Marquez, Tyro Estrada, Austin Gombert, Orlando Arcia, and Kyle Farmer in free agency. Also, it's Austin Gomber. I'm sorry.
Go man.
He is also from New Jersey.
Andrew Fisher.
Tyro Estrada.
Bro.
All right. So here's the thing about this Rockies offseason.
We'll just sit back.
A lot of names that you just went through, right, in that additions list. A lot of names you just went through.
Right.
And are all of them certified Major League Baseball players?
Certified freak.
Certified Major League Baseball players. And the thing about this Rockies team is that last year, there were not a lot of certified Major League Baseball players on their roster, right? So maybe it's not the most sexy thing to go out and trade for a Jake McCarthy or an Eduardo Julien, or even like bringing in Keegan Thompson, right? Like these are not guys that are going to make an impact on a team that has aspirations of making the playoffs. But for a team that just lost 119 games, these are additions that genuinely matter, right? The floor of this Rockies team has been increased, in my opinion, exponentially this offseason. Now, are they going to be a playoff team? No. Are they going to be particularly close to it? Certainly not. But this is undeniably a better squad than they were this time 100 or 365 days ago. Is that something we can all agree on?
I can agree on that. I mean, and I
agree. And
maybe I just like the lovable underdog here, but I like seeing Jake McCarthy, Willie Castro, Eduard Julien. Also seeing, Nicky Lopez waiting in the wings.
Sugano, dude.
Michael Lorenzen, noted outfielder Michael Lorenzen. Jose Quintana.
Michael Lorenzen, who's going to shut down Team USA in 2 days in the championship game of the WBC.
I don't want to say that I'm hopeful for this team because I'm not. Let's not delude ourselves. But they are not going to set a record again.
This is the first Rockies team for me in 7 years, 8 years maybe, that is even a little bit inspiring, right? This is a team that has at least a little bit of an ethos, right? You mentioned that lovable underdog, Sansoni, and over the past half decade for the Rockies, they haven't even been that. They've just been terrible. They've been terrible and no one's thought about them. And now you finally start to have some fun players. You finally start having some people to root for. Like, this is going to be a bad team, but it's going to be a fun one. And I'm okay with that.
Chris Bryant still injured with his degenerative lumbar disc disease.
Can I share my favorite Chris Bryant trivia question with you guys?
Yes.
Do we
if
have to
you were to go, yes, I'm going to ask you guys a question. The question is which is more? And the first option is number of games that Chris Bryant has played in his time as a Colorado Rocky. And the second number is the amount of US dollars that it would cost you to purchase a Chris Bryant Rockies City Connect jersey. Which one's more?
The City Connect. Are you serious? This is Fanatics we're talking about.
What is
Chris
it,
Bryant across, what, now 4 complete seasons as a Colorado Rocky, has appeared in 170 games. A Chris Bryant City Connect jersey will run you $175.
Well, maybe he'll get in for 5 games this year before his back blows up.
And
Adam, I agree. I agree with everything you said about this team. They could be fun. There's actual names on this team that I recognize this year. And for that reason, I'm under on 54.5 wins.
54.5. I mean, geez. Look, you have to bear with me here. I'm going to say over. I do not think it will be
He has
far
been winning
over.
the division.
No.
Next year.
No, that's next year. But I think they're over.
For a very long time in Rockies franchise history, the organization kind of prided themselves on never truly being a terrible team. It took 30 years, basically, of franchise history before the Rockies had their first 100-loss season. Since then, they have lost 100 games in 3 consecutive years. I think they bucked the trend. I think this is the year they finally get back over that boiling point, and we start to see the team kind of turned around. I think the front office is moving the franchise in a good direction for the first time in a very long time, and I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I'm optimistic, and I'm taking the over on the Rockies this year.
Well, that's fantastic. Let's get into our standings predictions. Please, everybody, write your own in. John, you'll start us off with your first place team.
I'm kidding. The Dodgers.
Got a number of wins for me?
I think they're going to be at 95 wins. I think they'll get more wins, but 102.5 is not approachable.
I have them under 102.5 as well. I have them at 99 wins. I don't know who they play in that final series. They will get swept and not get 100 wins just because.
I also have the Dodgers finishing first in the division. I have them at 98 and 64. I think it's going to be a very long time before we see a 100-win team in baseball again.
John, your second place team.
The San Francisco Giants. I think they're going to get one over on the Padres. I think they'll have 85 wins.
I have the San Diego Padres just a tick behind the Dodgers. Literally one tick. 98 wins. I on this division. Adam, your second place team.
My second place team is the San Diego Padres. I really don't feel good about them. I have them at 85 and 77, but to me, the 2 and 3 teams in this division are very interchangeable.
John, your third place team.
Yeah, same. That's exactly right. They're interchangeable here. I have the Padres at 82 and 80. I mean, these guys could flip, but they're going to be relatively close to each other.
My third place team, I have the Giants, 82 and 80.
I got the Giants, 84-78.
All right. I got the Diamondbacks at 75 and 87. Not going to be a fun team to watch.
I have the Diamondbacks at 73 and 89.
My fourth place team in the division is the Colorado Rockies. I have them jumping the Arizona Diamondbacks. I don't have them good. I have them at 70 and 92. But I have the Rockies jumping the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Okay, so I have the Rockies in fifth. I have them at 62 and 100. I think that's better. That's better. That's over where they were.
Adam, I'd like for you to give your fifth place team before I give my Colorado Rockies record.
The Arizona Diamondbacks I have finishing 65 and 97. I think they're being forced into a rebuild whether they like it or not.
And the Colorado Rockies round out my standings at fifth place. The Chicago White Sox will no longer have the worst record of all time.
John, I will bet you 30,000 American dollars that the Rockies do not lose 122 games this year.
I wouldn't take that bet, but I just want to piss you off.
I bet you would.
It will never come down to the Rockies' schedule for my predictions. I do think, like, if I were to, I'm going with 40 and 122 because I think they'll be closer to that than whatever the hell you guys have. But
I bet you they are closer to 70 wins than they are to 40. I would make that bet.
all right, let's put that down. Oh, not there. Oh, not there either. How do I get out of here? Adam bets John that Rockies are closer to 70 than 40.
So basically 55. The line we're setting is 55, and their over/under is 54 and a half. So we're pretty much playing it.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to play a game. Which game do we want to play today?
Do we have to play a game?
We don't have to.
The Immaculate Grid is a 3x3 grid with 3 rows and 3 columns. That's 9 intersections. And I have forced this podcast into playing Immaculate Grid today, whether they like it or not. Enjoy this content. The Immaculate Grid for the day is loading for me. The rows are the St. Louis Cardinals, the Chicago White Sox, and only one team. The columns are the Texas Baseball Rangers, the San Diego Fathers, and played right field for one game. Minimum. One game.
Minimum. Has to be at least one. Could have done it 2 even.
Played right field minimum of one game for only one team is a really interesting one that could just be a cup of coffee prospect. I think man, this is a hard decision.
I have a Cardinal Padre if you need me to stall you for time.
What would that be, like a pope?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead then.
One of the most holy men in baseball history, Luke Voigt.
1%. I'll be right back.
I think his laundry went off, dude.
That's 3 buildings
Sox
away.
was trying to do some plumbing.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
Right field, at least one game for the Cardinals.
Sorry.
That's tough. Like I want one that's like weird and obscure, but the Cardinals have just been so bad that I'm having a hard time thinking of one that, you know, isn't a player that's already, like, what am I supposed to say? Jordan Walker? Like,
I have a Cardinals Ranger, perhaps, that I can fill in to continue selling for time.
yeah, do that.
Noted successful baseball manager Mark DeRosa.
Yeah.
That
Wow.
was Ranger Cardinal.
Yes, that's the one.
I'm trying to come up with the most obscure names I can think of.
Only one team for right field. What about Ronald Acuna Jr.?
Okay.
No, don't do that. Don't do
Or making
that.
some broad.
No. Oh my God, I can't. I'm trying to think of one that's like not obvious.
Dude, the only one team is messing with me right now.
Only one team in right field.
I've got a right fielder for the White Sox. Daniel Pauka. Boom. Heck yeah.
Right field for only. So would it be like they've only appeared in right field once for one team?
No, they just had to have played in right field at least once in their entire career, but they had to play that entire career on one team.
Yeah.
You think Terran Vavra played right field at any point?
Oh my god.
I don't know, but I have a White Sox Padre.
Okay.
Actually, I have two, and I want you guys to help me. The reason for Grinder Ball rule number 7, use immigration because it helps you win. Tadahito Iguchi or Travis Jankowski.
Iguchi.
Nobody jump all at once.
Iguchi.
All right.
Do Terran Vavra for only one team right field, because I swear he's played the outfield before. That's like his only value.
Are you sure that he's only
We've
been
got
on
it. It's already in. .01.
That'll work. I have a Cardinal only right field, Reynold
Please.
Richie. Or played right field, excuse me.
0.6.
All
We
right, what else
need
do we
Rangers only one team and Padres only one team.
Rangers only one team. You could do. Alejandro Osuna.
Rangers?
Osuna with an S. Osuna.
Alejandro Osuna. 0.7. I have Hanser Alberto for the last White Sox Rangers spot. We need a Padre with only one team in them.
Only one team. How about a Nabil Chrismat?
No, he's played for more than one team.
Right?
Oh.
No, he's played for the Diamondbacks.
John says he's played for more than one team. Gonna have to kill Adam again.
Again. It's my least favorite part of every recording session.
It keeps happening, you know? Like,
if I was just better at Immaculate Grid, it wouldn't be an issue. But
What are our thoughts on Tirso or Nellis?
who?
Yeah, exactly.
that's fine. That's fine, yeah. He's a depth outfielder. He's a depth outfielder for them.
Rarity score of 5. Hardest spot on the grid today was a Cardinal Ranger. No, I'm sorry. A Ranger, only one team. The most common answer for right fielder, only one team, Aaron Judge.
Does that mean the Rangers are the most transient team in baseball? Is that how that works?
What do you mean?
I mean, if they're the team that has the least guys that have only played for them.
Well, no, because the Padres actually have the least amount of people who've only played for them.
So the Padres are the most
on the grid. There are 2,134 people who have played right field a minimum of one game and only spent their whole career on one team. 525 people have played right field for the Cardinals. 389 have played right field for the White Sox. Huge. Adam, give me an update. What's the score on the SEC championship?
I'm not watching the SEC championship, so I'm going to vamp for time as I pull up the score on my phone. You're going to see exactly how long it takes me to pull this up.
It's currently 60-57 Arkansas.
Yes. 10-21 to play in the second half.
Adam, what's the score of the game you're currently watching?
No comment.
That'll do it for the chatting average, the National League West, and all of our divisional previews. Next week, we will have a show.
Is that a promise?
Yeah. Sorry, Adam. You'll have to do your job. Next week, well, the championship of the WBC is in 2 days.
Yeah. We also have talked like no WBC at all on this show. Like
Well,
not just today, in general.
The
It's
semifinals.
cool. If you're not watching it, you're missing out.
The semifinals for the U.S. are tonight. If John gets this out in time, you may be able to watch the U.S. and Paul Skeens obliterate the Dominican Republic. You can still get tickets. If you want to watch tomorrow, Venezuela, Italy, gearing up for an Italian-United States rematch, which would be huge for the brand of John Sansoni and Adam Busak.
It's true.
It would be
If
big for
you
both.
are listening on Spotify,
That's awesome.
download the podcast, rate it 5 stars. If you're listening on anything else, like and do whatever else you're supposed to do. Follow us on Twitter on the Chatting AVG. The season is so close, ladies and gentlemen. Soon enough, your team will be pissing you off, and your entire mood for the whole day will depend on if they win or lose, which is why Adam will be pissed off for the next 180 days.
We're not losing 122 games. We're not doing it. It's not happening.
That's been the
Bye.
chatting average.